Hello and welcome to a special extended edition of Budget Buggy's Ultimate Team. As you can see, my Ultimate Team is up there, my Manchester United squad. My upgraded Anderson ran out of contract, so I've been using him for a few games, and I'll have some comments about him later. So he's been playing well enough that I just, gave him a new shiny gold contract. And this is actually the new team that I've built from the British Premier League that doesn't have any Manchester United players, of course. And I built this team after seeing a lot of teams that I faced, having Sturridge and Lukaku. Those two strikers were giving me so much trouble up front. So I finally decided to make a team that actually has all of the players that I don't like going up against when I face Premier League teams. So you'll see up front, Sturridge, Lukaku, absolute monsters on the ball. They're so strong, they're so fast, and they're so awesome at heading. And then in midfield, I have Lennon, who's a pace monster. He doesn't have much else to offer, but that's really his one trick, and he's a great one-trick pony. I have Alex Song. This guy's a monster central defensive midfielder. He just converted into CM in this card. And partnering him is Mikel from Chelsea. And these two are so good at tracking back and winning the ball back and, fairly reasonable at passing it around as well. On the left wing, I had Dempsey for a while, just because he's a popular player that I like. But regularly I'll be playing Etherington also for his blistering pace on that wing. To get in crosses to the front men. And then the back line is fairly standard. Jose Enrique, I actually got the non-upgraded version because I really didn't feel like dropping $6,000 on a left back. And then Sagna, who is kind of expensive, but I think he was worth it for that right back spot. And then the two center backs are Toure and David Luiz. And David Luiz, I think his reputation in FIFA Ultimate Team precedes him. He's just a beast. He's so fast, and he's always at the right place. The only problem really is that he goes on these offensive runs every once in a while that you need to be careful about. But if you have enough defensive players, they'll drop in, like Mikel and Alex Song. And Toure, also another tank. Not as good, but is still very, very good. And then, of course, Hart, the invincible. And that almost nothing seems to go past him when I play against him. So I got Hart in net as well. So that's my new British Premier League side. And then I queued up, and guess who I see? Most of the people that, like Toure is there, Bakary Sagna is there, excuse me, Nani is there as well. Walcott on the wing, fairly pacey, and Aguero and Suarez up top. So fairly deadly team on paper. Let's see what they have. I actually started with the new side that I just showed you guys, and I was fairly confident. I played a few games with this team before, just before I recorded. So, and I was coming up against a decent Premier League side, so it was almost a good match on paper. And luckily for me, this side is just absolutely awesome. This is basically my best way of scoring goals with the side. Go down the wing, crossing into either Sturridge or Lukaku, and like 50% of the time it will be in the net, just because of how good these two players are at getting into position and heading the ball in. Unfortunately for me, a little bit of a defensive howler. I really should have tackled him there with David Luiz, or at least covered him. And I tried to take another defender back to cover him, but Suarez is slippery enough. And then there's this new trend I'm seeing where people will just pause the game for some reason. And so you pause for the entire 30 seconds. I'm not really sure what's going on. And this happens in this episode and a bunch of other games too. I'm not really sure if there's a new exploit out that allows you to do something or, get the upper edge when you pause. I'm not sure. People have been doing it at really, really weird times during a game. And after their first goal, I just set it to ultra attacking. I was just like, all right, let's try the Manchester United credo with this squad. See how far that gets me. Unfortunately for me, right after I did that, I conceded a goal right away to Sergio Aguero of all people. Nice finish by Aguero, showing us why he's so deadly in finishing, and my defense was in shambles. But there was really no going back. I was still going to be ultra attacking. There's no shift there, and another nice through ball down the wing, crossed in, Sturridge, goal, right off the restart. So I was quite pleased once again with Daniel Sturridge. He has been an absolute monster for me, about on the level of Chicharito or Welbeck as far as prolific in scoring goals for this team. And then once again, crossing it in, and this time it's Alex Song who happens to be in the box with ultra attacking. You know, everybody floods the attacking penalty box, and so luckily for me, that was Alex Song being in the right place at the right time. Here once again, I was 3-2 up. I just wanted to, you know, finish the game and put it away for good. And Lukaku there, you know, finishing it off. Nice header, right place, right time. Great header in front of the defender, and puts it into the corner. Great goal. So that was 4-2, and that was basically the game at this point. You know, I'd come in, and then he was getting extremely frustrated. I think the new next trend also is to try and injure other people's players by just sliding in. Most of the time, you just get away with the foul. This time, though, the referee sees that for what it was, and that was definitely a yellow card worthy foul. I still wanted to get one more in. So in the 90th minute, Sturridge trying a little bit of a dink past the keeper, saved by De Gea. But Sturridge gets the ball back and then curls it in with his left. Fantastic goal by Daniel Sturridge. Great way to keep composure. You know, doesn't really lose his head, and then just kind of puts it past De Gea, who charged, so he was out of position. So that game ended well. Great for me, actually. 80% passing, 55% possession, and, you know, a ton of chances. After that game, Sagna, Toure, and Song's contracts were up because I played them in games earlier. And since they were all very, very good, I decided to renew all of their contracts and not replace them with anybody really. So there you see Toure getting his contract, well-deserved. Bakary Sagna getting a contract as well, well-deserved as well. I was hoping for more from Toure, but for the price I got him for, you know, I would have gotten Vincent Kompany instead. But you know, for the price, he's an excellent defender, quite pacey and good defending stats. The next game I jumped into was this Brazil side with no manager and 99 chem. So this guy seems to know something about the handicap, and I was kind of aware of the effect that momentum has. I'm not sure there's a handicap in the game, but I know that there is a momentum system built into the game. So if you perform badly against a team that's lower rated than you, then their players will start playing better and your players will start to lose morale. So obviously that was a concern for me with my Man U side. I wanted to make sure I got off with a positive start, you know, kept possession and maybe even get a goal, you know, to kind of nullify any kind of momentum advantage they might have. Luckily for me, I picked up on the stray ball that he'd picked in, and then the ball just moved like, you know, hot knife through butter, through his midfield, through the rest of his team, through his defense, and this through ball. His defender, I always feel bad for people when their defenders do that. If you don't hit the clear button right away, your defender will try and chest it down and control it. And sometimes there'll be a striker just over his shoulder, ready to come in and pickpocket. And that's exactly what Welbeck does. And then he finishes with all aplomb. Once again, same kind of ball. His defender, again, with a very poor effort. Welbeck hitting the post, actually, but Hernandez, Chicharito, the ultimate poacher, he's there to put it in as soon as Welbeck hit the post. So that was a great 2-goal cushion, and I was quite happy with the way the way that we were playing. Unfortunately for me, right off of this set piece. He's able to get the ball in. I am not able to clear it perfectly well. He does get a shot on goal, and then I do the unthinkable, where I actually try and clear it with a defender in front of me. I usually end up in that winning position in those kinds of cases, but he almost got a goal back from my mistake there. Luckily for me, I got possession back, and Welbeck showing his strength really to recover that ball and fire it on goal. Here's another clearance from his keeper. He gets that ball, and that's what you should do when you get the ball, is you should just clear it. Don't wait for the defender to chest it down, otherwise you'll be in trouble. And then from that play, I recovered the ball once again down the wing, and Welbeck almost scoring, heading it right into the keeper. After this, he paused again for some reason. I'm not really sure. So once the game resumed, 24th minute, another nice through ball onto Welbeck. Look at him. He's just so strong. He's holding off that defender all by himself, keeping the ball in front of him, and then finishing across the keeper low into the corner of the net. So I was up 3-0 at this point. It was quite comfortable, to be honest. And right off of the restart, I got a lucky bounce and another ball, and his defense, again, not the best really. And Welbeck curling in with his weaker left foot into the corner of the goal. So I was 4-0 up at this point, feeling quite good. And I felt like I had to go for the fifth. And go for the fifth we did in the 52nd minute after halftime. Just a little bit of a high five to Fletcher there for a nice corner, and that was 5-0. Unfortunately for me, I didn't follow my own advice of clearing it. Here he is, nice pass through the legs, and as soon as that pass was taken, I knew it was going to be a goal. His player was in the right position in front of Smalling to turn, and even though he tried to tackle him, Smalling, he didn't get him. And that was a consolation goal that they got. So at this stage, it was 6-1. I think I had another goal that I must have just cut out in editing because I had so many. But anyway, right after that restart of that goal, I wanted to make sure that I kept my domination on the match. So nice cross. Welbeck not panicking, not trying to head it first time or anything, just receiving the ball and then putting it in to the net. That's actually how the game ended, 7-1. That was a great game for me, and look at that score sheet. Welbeck just, stamping his name all over that match. And the one goal from Chicharito was the one that Welbeck hit off the post. So that was, a season-defining performance. And just complete domination by my team, to be honest. Look at that, 90% pass accuracy, 61% possession, 12 shots on target, 22 tackles. That was just a complete domination of his side. And then after that match, Young ran out of contracts, and he's been doing quite well as well. So I renewed his contract, and then Valencia had one contract left. So before his contracts run out, I gave him an extension for the fantastic work he's been putting in. He's been putting in a real shift on the wing there. And so then I went into my next match. And this episode is quite long because I had a lot of these matches recorded. I came up against this Brazilian kind of Bundesliga side with the Inform Weisse as the keeper. So you had a lot of informs. And generally what I found when somebody has a large number of informs, they're either extremely good, which means I'm going to get plastered, or they're quite bad because they haven't worked their way up legitimately. They've just bought coins and gotten those informed players. So it's always kind of interesting for me to feel out the first few minutes of this kind of a game with this kind of players on the other team. So there, his offside trap didn't exactly work. I had the option to tramp it, but I elected not to. I try not to be that kind of a player, although sometimes I do it to get even when somebody else tramps against me. So nice finish there from Sturridge on his stronger left foot. Both my strikers are actually left-footed, which is strange. But once again, his defense just not performing that offside trap with any kind of accuracy. And Sturridge this time with his other right foot. This is actually in the second half, I believe. So I was 2-0 up after 2 halves. And then after that goal, it seemed like I was able to just kind of do the third goal just quite easily. I was able to break down his defense. Earlier, I spent almost 60 minutes trying to crack his defense and only got 2 goals past him. So I was 3-0. In the 77th minute, this guy, he just paused again. I'm not sure why. Again, people want to do this. Maybe they just want to waste as much of the opponent's time as possible. So that was an entire pause duration, I guess. And then as soon as the game started again, he paused again, and then he just disconnected. So that was another rage quit. 3-0, and if you had that kind of a team, I'd be tempted to rage quit as well. Again, domination, 70% pass accuracy, more than 50% possession. So then I jumped into the next match right away. I came across this BPL side. Not sure who that right back is. Is it Carl Jenkinson? I don't know why he has a bronze right back. He might like Arsenal, but then he doesn't have any other Arsenal players either. So, and no manager again. So this is another one of those people who thinks that not having a manager gives you an upper hand because of some urban myth that's going around on the forums about not having managers resulting in what's called the handicap. Unfortunately for him, the only handicap is defending like that, and Hernandez picking it up, putting it onto his stronger foot, and thanking his maker for that kind of an opportunity. Putting it in the net, 29th minute, first goal. Dreadful defending from him, really. You should do better. And I know I've made my share of mistakes as well, in that I'm not completely innocent. Hernandez again, he probably should have put the chip away, but he made sure that the follow-up header was taken. I don't know how Toure was able to not get that off of Hernandez. He's almost, half his size. But in the 45th minute, this is a great goal from Antonio Valencia, just coming in from behind Rafael, I believe it was, and he just has no chance. He's out-muscled, outsized by Valencia, and outpaced. So that was a good goal, but Welbeck wasn't going to be put down either. He wanted to make sure that he showed him what it's like to head into the goal as well. So Welbeck, great finish, past the keeper. Chicharito coming in to celebrate along with Fletcher. That was a great goal. I watched the replay because he was extremely annoying as a player. And that's actually how the game ended, 3-1 in my favor. Great game. Chicharito putting in 2 great performances by him. And that's really the best part about this team is if Welbeck doesn't perform, Chicharito's right there to pick up the slack. And it's very rare that either of them do not perform. And then I went into the last game of this episode, 3-4-2-1, with David Beckham just randomly in the middle there in that Premier League squad. I wonder what would have happened if Beckham was, able to go out on loan like Donovan or Robbie Keane. That would have been interesting to see him back in the Premier League. And this is, again, my new Premier League squad with Sturridge and Lukaku, who've been absolute monsters so far, as you can see. And this other team I'm facing has a lot of informs. And so, like I said, it's always interesting. Whenever you see somebody that's a little bit different, I'm always watching them like three at the back. I know that it's either going to be a bonanza for me or it's going to be really tough because that person knows how to defend really well with three at the back and is able to use that extra man in midfield to his advantage. Fortunately for me, in the 4th minute, Lukaku puts us in, mainly because I think there's not enough defensive cover there against him. But this is the kind of thing that happens. Nice goal off of the set piece. My entire team was in the box really, and it took a deflection, and Beckham was in the right place, right time, poked it home, and that's the quality of David Beckham. And once again, another player that just pauses in the middle of the game. I'm still baffled. One day I'll find out what it is. Maybe it's some kind of increases your probability of scoring chances or something. Sturridge there. Great save from Shea Given, and Lukaku just kind of rounding his defender, and Sturridge obliging with the finish into the goal, and with that ridiculous looking celebration. So that was a good goal from Sturridge, rising up above the defender. So it was 2-1. So I was back up on top, and this defender trying to be a little bit too fancy. And I really should have tramped it. That's what would happen in a real life situation. At that point, is just square the ball into the onrushing Lukaku. It's a goal. Why would you take this kind of a shot in real life? But I try not to be trampy unless somebody's done it to me already in FIFA. So that was a nice goal from Sturridge. And then just to finish it off, another great goal headed past the keeper there, Shea Given. In this game, he was extremely good. Joe Hart and Shea Given, and I think that he, to some extent, along with Petr Cech, are 4 of the best keepers in the Premier League, I feel. And once again, I was able to pressure his defense into cuffing up the ball. He really wasn't clearing it or getting it out of dangerous situations. And with that kind of team, you pay. So in the 65th minute, I was up 5-1, and this guy had enough. He didn't want to play anymore, and he rage quit after he paused. So I mean, it was a decent team that he had, and 12 saves by Shea Given. So that just tells you how much work his defense had to do. And he's really just getting battered, 80%, pass accuracy, 52% possession. So anyway, that's the end of the episode. Please let me know if you guys want to see more extended episode with a like or comment, and I'll see you guys later.